Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Shatterpoint and all the new reveals we're expecting to see at the roadmap event for Ministravaganza 2023. It is happening next week. So this is going to be our preview video where we sort of talk about all the things we can certainly expect to see and other things that we sort of hope to see. Now, if you guys are new here to the channel, I talk a lot about Shatterpoint, Legion, a lot of Star Wars games, Armada, X-Wing, sometimes even non-Star Wars games as well. I'd love to have you guys stick around, subscribe, like the video, share the video, all that cool stuff. I'm going to be covering the Shatterpoint information as well as the Legion information, maybe even a little bit of the Marvel Crisis Protocol information that comes out of Ministravaganza, and it's only covering those 3 games. So fans of X-Wing and Armada are going to have to wait until some other time when they talk about those games. So what are they going to talk about for Shatterpoint at next week's Ministravaganza? Well, aside of a lot of painting streams and a couple of sort of like developer roundtables, the big event is going to be Friday's basically roadmap. Now that is going to be Friday morning. If your Pacific time is up at 9, so that should be like noon Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing a watch party for that event. So, and of course, we'll be talking about everything in advance. We'll talking about it afterwards. There's a lot to talk about with Shatterpoint, and there's going to be a lot of news. Presumably, there will also unveil a lot of new product and sort of give the roadmap for the rest of the year and probably up until, take us almost partway through next year as well. And since this is the newest game, I expect it to have an awful lot. So I want to talk about some of the things we can certainly expect to see. And to do that, we have to rewind a little bit to Adepticon. So back at Adepticon, they previewed, they did a similar kind of roadmap where they gave us a ton of previews of various different things that were coming for Shatterpoint. And since it has now come out, now this was before the game came out, they gave us a really big preview. They showed us more Shatterpoint than anything else. And it was enough to get a lot of people excited. But most of what they showed us hasn't come out yet and hasn't really been properly spoiled yet either. So one of those packs that I expect us to get a preview of is the Plo Koon pack. That one is going to have some variety in it because while it comes with Wolf and the Wolf pack, it also comes with Padawan Ahsoka Tano, who was only available to some who happened to get that early access pre-order and if they were allocated one by their store. So for all of you who have been wanting the Ahsoka Tano Padawan, fear not, it is coming in the Plo Koon pack. We should get more on this. Now, this was something that was revealed at Adepticon and has not yet come out. Also, while we did get one version of Darth Vader that ended up being a complete surprise, we do have the actual Darth Vader and Stormtroopers packs that are coming. This is part of basically the first sort of true reveal of the Galactic Civil War coming into Shatterpoint. Or at least this was the first we got of it. It turned out they gave us an early preview with those special sets from Kenobi, being the Inquisitors and Darth Vader, and then from the Kenobi series we had that version of Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. And these are likely going to be multi-faction, multi-era packs, and also going to be doing some painting streams involving some of this as well, which is going to be cool. They have like a black and white painting stream that's scheduled, so if you want to see these minis a little closer up, you can do that, although you've probably seen Darth Vader and Stormtroopers been painted 1,000 times already, but if you want to see it 1,001 times, Ministravaganza is going to have that. Plus, it's going to be how Stormtroopers look in Star Wars Shatterpoint scale, which is going to be kind of interesting. I'm curious how they're going to actually look and how it's all going to shape out. So this is not necessarily a bad thing to do. Pretty cool stuff. The one that I'm really excited about, well, one of the few that I'm most excited about is this particular pack here. The Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, R2-D2 serving drinks, and the Leia in Bouche Bounty Hunter disguise. I love the Return of the Jedi stuff. I have a feeling that this and the Vader pack will probably land together. And I have a feeling they're going to push to get these out before the end of the year because it's Return of the Jedi anniversary year. It would make more sense for these to come out sooner rather than later. And then to sort of capitalize off of the, hey, this is Return of the Jedi anniversary, 40th anniversary. Let's try to get this out. So, yeah, so I have a feeling that this will be out before the end of the year, but we've really seen nothing on this yet. I expect this to also be in a painting stream as well. Ewoks. We've learned very, very little of Ewoks so far. It does look to be a 5-pack set. Looks like it's going to be kind of similar to that Plo Koon set where you got a different option for what kind of secondary you might want to use, or which you know, or maybe as an option for which support you want to use. It looks like we have Wicket in there. Looks like we have Logray in there. So we're gonna have some options in there, and so that one looks like that'll be kind of interesting. We've also got Iden Versio, which was teased. Now some of these teasers, we don't know exactly how the pack is going to look because some of them were painted, which meant they're closer to production. Some of them were not painted, which means they're probably farther away. A couple that are not painted might not be 2023 releases. These might be 2024 releases. I do expect to see better and more information on these. Like, for example, how will Iden Versio look painted? How will her expansion look? What else is she going to be coming with? This is an interesting one to me. I would imagine it would be Inferno Squad. And again, I've said this before when they first revealed her. I'm hoping we get everybody. I hope we're getting Sane Marana in there, who was the infamous or the 4th member of Inferno Squad that kind of went unrecognized in Legion. Well, it's kind of sort of recognized as that like generic helmeted character, but I hope we get Sane in here. It works out. I feel like it works pretty well. And also will she be like a support? Will it be like a Sane and Hask? Well, Hask would probably be the number 2, right? So probably Del Meeko and Sane as your supports, or will they be like a 3-person unit? I'm just curious how they're going to do that, but hopefully Sane is represented. I think that'll be really cool. We also saw the Han Solo pack, and so I'm curious what else they're going to put in here. I would expect Chewbacca, and maybe 3PO will be in there. I don't expect Lando to show up in this one, but then again, maybe they'll do a little bit of like the Solo a Star Wars story, so maybe it'll be kind of a version of Han Solo that could come with someone else from Solo. That could be an option. Maybe L3 would also work and something like that, although she kind of seems like she'd belong more with Lando, but Lando's already with Luke in that other pack, but I expect us to get a different version of Lando at one point. Also, I mean, I feel like that's definitely a theme we're seeing with Shatterpoint is multiple versions of the same character. I think we're going to get lots and lots of versions of every character, or every important character. We've already got 2 Vaders. We've already got 2 Ahsoka Tano's, right? That are at least on the way. So, I think Han Solo is definitely down for probably at least 2 or 3 versions. So this could very well just be Solo from a Solo a Star Wars story, and then leave additional room for like General Solo or Smuggler Solo and stuff like that. We also know that the first ever character that they made as a kind of as a proof of concept for this game was Din Djarin, who is seen painted up in a late preview from Adepticon. I expect to see more of this pack. What the Mandalorian is going to come with. I imagine some of the characters probably from Mando Season 1. I'm guessing IG-11 will be in there, as well as some others. So I think a lot of those are good guesses. Mando just is a great setting for a lot of characters that just feel like they would fit into Shatterpoint very, very well. And also this leaves a lot of room for other versions of Mando. I could totally see Darksaber Mando showing up at some point, or spear wielding Mando showing up at some point, and who knows what the future holds for Mando as well. And the huge big finish for Shatterpoint was the entire cast of Star Wars Rebels as 6 characters. Now, I don't know if this will be 1 pack or if this will be 2 packs. I don't know if it'll be a 1 really, really big pack or 2 packs of 3. I would push for a 1 really, really big pack and have it be a full strike team, 2 squads of 3. I like that. I like that idea. I don't know who's going to be your supports in here, though. I mean, you're going to have strong supports. I imagine it'd be Kanan and Ezra and Sabine for one, and then Hera, and then Zeb and Chopper for the other one, which is tough to see Sabine as a support. But I like the idea of Sabine as a support here because it opens up the role for Sabine to be a secondary or a primary as you look at like Sabine in Ahsoka, where she's older and more advanced. And she can still be a strong support. Just because somebody's a support doesn't at all mean that they're going to be weak, especially if it's a single character support. So that's this is some of the stuff I want to see clarified. And are they doing anything else from Rebels? Are we going to see like a Callus or a Thrawn or Hondo Anaka, who is pretty much confirmed. He's for one, they have a painting stream talking about that's just good business, which is a quote of his. So I'm sure they're going to be painting Hondo Anaka. But also he's on the Shatterpoint card. Of course he's going to be in here. They've also talked about timelines in some of the updates and in the different time periods and stuff like that. I figure Hondo is one that could probably fit in all of them and even into the future. I wonder if we'll see anything extended into the future, which is a very interesting bit. I also expect that, and now this is a little bit of a gamble. Let me know in the comments section if you agree with me here or not, that they might do some Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order type of characters. Jedi Fallen Order is probably more likely as long as it takes them to get stuff created. Jedi Survivor is a little bit newer. It might be harder for them to get specific characters. I mean, there's a lot of cross characters in here that are in both, so it works. But I feel like Cal Kestis, it needs to make his way into this game. I just feel like it works. He works perfectly in some of the time periods that they've announced. Like, he could easily be a character who's not currently available to be used in the Galactic Civil War. But you do have that Reign of the Empire middle time frame. Like, why even put that middle time frame in if not to say, like, there's got to be characters who are around for the Reign of the Empire, but that aren't around for the Galactic Civil War. And he's really one of the only ones that I can think of that really makes sense for that right now. So, I mean, I guess maybe the Bad Batch also. They haven't confirmed Bad Batch coming, but I'm sure that they will as well. And so there's a lot of other things that are likely to show up or that could show up. And I was hoping that they would have like another terrain set because I guess one of my issues with Shatterpoint is that it all kind of, like, every game is pretty much using the one kind of themed terrain that they have. And so it makes every game kind of look and feel the same. I know a lot of people are hoping for more objectives, a new mission pack. They have talked about doing mission packs. I wonder if we'll see a preview of a new mission pack. And I'd love to see that come out. It's a very, very good thing for the game to have different ways to play. But at the same time, I don't want to get inundated with only mission packs. Like, I'd like to get like maybe 2 mission packs a year, maybe 3 new mission packs a year, but I don't want to have like a new mission pack every month. And then, 2 years from now is like we've got like 30 some odd missions or whatever, and you're like, I don't know which one to play, And so like I like having variety, but I like for it to be sprinkled in evenly throughout other releases as well. So you get you get a couple new expansions, then you get a new mission, and you get a couple more, something like that. Like, I feel like that works. One thing's for sure, Shatterpoint has had a ton of releases so far, and it's got a very heavy schedule of releases. And that is typical of a new game. I don't think Shatterpoint will be as heavy in releases throughout 2024, but I expect it to still be pretty heavy. Certainly heavier than games like Legion and X-Wing, and it goes without saying, heavier than Armada, but unfortunately. But yes, it's going to have a lot for sure, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. So if you guys are interested in Shatterpoint, I'll have links down in the description where you can check out the rules, the build guides, and lots more information for Shatterpoint. So definitely check that out. But that is going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolute rock stars and help make this channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you always. Wash your socks and be excellent to each other.